thing. I'm like, that is, you can do a pyramid and have someone sit on it and it goes into their butthole for 3 days until they're in what? Or the best one was they would put you upside down and each grab a leg and then take a double-ended saw from the middle of you. And the reason you're upside down is so the blood goes to your brain so you feel the maximum pain and stay alive as long as possible. And I saw a drawing of that and I just thought, man, they've got me beat. They are professionals. So yeah, that was one of the inspirations, was just reading history, of course.
I have here in my hands the first season of History of Horror. Yeah. This for me is like a Bible. I was telling Eli that people in schools should watch this so they learn, because it doesn't matter if you're a fan of horror. This is pop culture. This is like
it's our history.
Yeah, exactly. And while I was watching that, and how you talk with Greg Nicotero and with Quentin Tarantino and with many actors and directors and producers and makeup artists, I was wondering about horror. I was wondering, what are you scared of? Do you get scared of anything? What are your favorite horror movies? Something that you say, wow, this is horrible for me.
Well, we all have fears. I mean, everyone has the fear you're going to die in a plane crash, or that my great fear was that I would never get to make Thanksgiving. I was like, what if I die before Thanksgiving gets made? That's what my fears are. But we see the world around us, the collapse of society, the way people get put into a group and vilified and turned into, justified, the way people say, well, now we can kill them because they are part of this group. That's terrifying. The attacks that have just happened are terrifying. So there are many things in the world. The world is a scary place. The collapse of society is scary. And there are people that want you to feel that way. And I think that the movies are a great way for us to express our collective fear. And one of the things I love about Mexico and Mexican culture, and coming in last night on Dia de los Muertos, is that I believe that Mexican culture and Latin culture in general has a very healthy relationship with death and talking to the dead, and it's not a forbidden subject. It's an important subject, and everyone is part of that subject. And in America, it's like, don't talk about it. The only time we talk about death is with horror movies. So I think that I wish American culture was as spiritual and respectful in the way that Latin culture is towards death. But I think, as we get older, our fears change. You see something, I used to be terrified of sharks. Now I love sharks, and I will defend them to my dying day. They're so incredible and beautiful. I made a documentary because they're all getting killed and they keep our oceans healthy. But for a long time I was terrified of them. But now as you get older, there's other things. You have kids and you're scared for something to happen to them. But I think the fun, to answer your question with the creative deaths, is I've seen every horror movie, or as many as I possibly can. Not every, but as many as I can. And I always think, I always wanted to see this in a movie. We all do that. You go, you're sitting there with a fork, and you're like, what if someone just hit someone's eye? We all think that. None of us do it. Well, a couple of us do it, but you're just like, you have the corn on the cob thing. You're like, what if that just went in your ear? It'd be so horrible. And then I think, I'll write it down. And part of the fun with Thanksgiving and, Viernes Negro is that the holiday has gotten perverted. In America, it started as the celebration where the settlers came and the Native Americans fed them, and then the settlers later killed them and took their land. But the holiday, which we make reference to in the movie, but the holiday was about being with your family and being thankful. We go around the table, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my family. And then these sales started, the Black Friday sale, which, for Christmas, they said, okay, the day after Thanksgiving, someone created Black Friday, where all the TVs are on sale. And then so you'd go to the store on Friday, and it was a lot of people, but you'd get there early. Then they pushed it to midnight, because 12:01 is technically Friday. Then it's 10, then it's 6 o'clock. And then Black Friday, you'd see their videos on YouTube of the gates going up, and people just trampling each other. There's one waffle iron riot. I mean, there's so many videos of people just beating the shit out of each other for televisions, and you think it's such a perversion of the holiday. That was what the story was about. So if you're taking the idea of this holiday and twisting it, what else can we do? Okay, we have turkey, you have the dinner, you have corn on the cob, you have the meat tenderizer. So you just take the idea of like, what's a really fucked up holiday movie? Like, think of a Christmas movie or a Thanksgiving movie, and what is the worst thing you can do? What's the most sick, perverse thing that you can do with the corn on the cob? It's taking something that's supposed to be for feeding you and protecting your hands, and now you're sticking it in someone's ears. It's horrible. And when I get that feeling of, oh, that's horrible, that's how I know it's a good kill.